What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Lamar, and this is a political short on the Political Media channel. We have a great show for you tonight. You know how we do it on Fridays. It's the end of the week. We crack out our alcohol, our liquors, or what have you, and we just relax and have a conversation. But I cannot have a conversation by my lonesome. So for you guys that don't know, we have a whole big old network of amazing personalities, particularly on our political network, political media. We have an amazing ladies show called Ladies POV. That's a plug. Y'all check that out. Y'all Google it. Y'all search it on YouTube. And the moderator for Ladies POV is doing me the extreme pleasure of joining me tonight for conversation. Y'all seen her before. Her name is Miss Devin. There she is.
What? What up?
What up? What up? What up, Miss Devin? How you doing?
I'm good. Happy it's Friday. Need some chill time for the weekend.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So we got an interesting show tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Lots going on. It's transpiring. And we might as well hop on into it, Let's hop into this thing. What are we talking about first? So, did you see this story? I actually did a story on this morning. I did a quick little post about it. This little 9-year-old girl. Have you heard about it?
I did, unfortunately.
So I'm a little bothered by it. I'm a little bothered by it in a couple of ways. What's going on, everybody that's coming in? When you come in, say hey, say what's up, so we know you're here. If your comment is interesting enough, the producer might put it on the screen. If you add a super chat, she'll definitely put it on the screen, leave it up there for you. So feel free to be a blessing if you want. So this 9-year-old girl. So basically my understanding of this story is the mom and dad were fighting. The mom was threatening to stab the dad, I think, and I think she stabbed him from what I heard. Can't confirm that, but that's what I heard. And the little girl ran out of the house. The parents called the police asking for a mental health provider or somebody in mental health specifically. But a cop came, of course, like always, and saying that she was having a breakdown. They end up getting the little girl. The little girl started acting a plum fool. A plum fool. A whole fool. In a way that I could never do as a kid, because my mom would reach out and grip me with the quickness. And she was acting a fool. And I understand it was a whole mental breakdown. I understand she was angry about her mom and dad fighting and what have you. But the way she was fighting these police officers, they ended up handcuffing her, which is interesting. And they went so far as to pepper spray this little 9-year-old girl, which I do not agree with. What are your thoughts on this thing, Miss Devin?
The first thing I thought of, and a lot of people don't like it, don't care. This is what I mean when I say defund the freaking police. Police officers are not trained to deal with mental health situations, especially in relation to a 9-year-old child. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes with a 9-year-old, you just need a different type of authority figure that may be able to, instill some type of fear in that child. First, you bring in your social worker to try to talk to the child that's not the parents, because she's pissed off at the parents for whatever. She's 9. You know what I'm saying? And at one of my jobs that I had, when somebody would act a fool, we would take them to Presby. I believe it was Presby. They have like a mental health unit. Yeah. And they come in there and they be clowning, right? Mm-hmm. And they tell her, Miss Such and Such, you need to get out of this chair and get over here. And she be like, I ain't gonna do it. And next thing she clowned so long, these 2 big brothers, 2 big old black dudes, came out the back and they looked at her and they said, look, we're gonna do this the easy way or the hard way. She got her ass by that chair. So, right. And so the police, clearly she wasn't intimidated by this female Caucasian police officer at all. And a man such as yourself, you're not gonna want to manhandle no 9-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. I just think that the police were not the people you call in that situation. Maybe you have them there for backup in case something pop off. But that's not who should have been.
And they did specifically ask for a mental health professional. However, they got the cops. It seems like police departments don't have enough of these people on call to go out for these situations. And as you said, I definitely feel like it should be a combination, tag team this thing. Send out a cop, because I'm trying to think, people that I know that work in that profession, will they be able to handle a little girl that's acting a plum, ignorant fool, 9-year-old, and she's 9, but she was a little heavy set and look she was a little stout. So so she's a little strong. So I'm like, will they be able to handle this girl? So of course you might need the cops there to help in that regard, but trying to de-escalate the whole situation on their own, obviously they were not good at that. And so they handcuffed the little girl, which I don't want to see my kid handcuffed. So that, me as a dad, even if I was a cop, I feel like I could have handled the situation better. But the big issue with this is the parenting too, in my opinion. Unless the girl just has this whole mental issue that she got going on and she really can't control herself. My thing is, what kid is bold enough to act that much of a fool with the cops? Unless there's something they do all the time. Or unless they do have a mental issue. So I was really bothered by that, because I'm real big on discipline as it relates to my kids. I'm not a big whooper or beater, any of that. We hadn't had to do a whole lot of that with our kids at all. Now they'll get a pop, and I did like thumps when they were kids, but it didn't take a whole lot for them to respect us. The biggest part is respecting us to the point where they know better. They don't want to disappoint us, but they also know that push come to shove, they'll get popped. So there's this little bit of piece of fear as well that I feel like needs to be instilled into the kids. And this little girl obviously did not have that, because I would understand if she started fighting for a little while, they tussling with her, they get her handcuffed, and then she finally calmed down. Nope, that ain't what happened. She's still fighting with handcuffs. She kicking. They trying to stuff her in the car. She's still kicking. They telling her they gonna pepper spray her, and she's still kicking. I'm like, please don't pepper spray this little 9-year-old, because from what I hear, pepper spraying a grown man takes him to the ground. I've never had it done to me, but a lot of police officers have spoke out about it regarding this, and that it's probably one of the worst things that you can have done to you. So to do that to a kid, particularly while they're handcuffed and can't wipe their eyes, can't do anything, it's kind of torture, in my opinion. So the mayor is speaking out about it. She's talking about reforming the police or what have you. But I mean, it's the mayor. The mayor's talking about reforming the police. But I definitely feel like the parenting speaks volumes here. And
it does. That sounds like one of those kids who somehow has learned, if I show out and show my entire behind, you either gonna leave me alone or you gonna give me whatever I want. Right. So then there needs to be, and that's when social services needs to get involved. Maybe these parents need some training as far as learning how to say no and letting her throw a fit and act a fool. You know, she clearly has no respect for authority, no fear of authority. So that's when you start like snatching stuff away from them. And when you act this way, you still ain't gonna get your way. But I just feel like somebody else should have come in and de-escalated it. Pepper spraying a child, she don't even understand what that is. So now all they have done is made this child probably, clearly she don't fear the police, but now she hates the police. So
absolutely.
Now that's not going to be her go-to if she ever is in trouble in her life, because when she was 9, this is the memory she has of this kid. And no, I'm not real big on spankings, but I do believe sometimes that's what needs to happen. And
the shock factor of it works.
Most little girls, yeah, it's something about daddy that can make them sit down and act right when mama can't. So clearly, for some reason, she felt comfortable enough with daddy to even try to hurt him if that was the case. So a big old male, a man, should be able to calm a child down, even if it's, holding her till she, stop clowning, putting her in the bathroom till she come. She can't yell and scream and holler forever.
Right. And my thing is,
got impatient. They didn't have no patience.
They should put her in the back of that car and let her kick and scream. Go for it. You'll be night night in just a minute. Go on and do it for a little while. Okay, you heard me. Shantae said something a few minutes ago that makes a lot of sense. She said mental health professionals are trained for de-escalation and they know certain holes. So okay, so that makes sense. So if that's the case, you're dealing with a child and they're able to go in and do one of those things where they wrap their arms around and hold them tight and they can't move until they relax. Yeah. I can see that. So I reassess what I said earlier. Maybe they can handle it.
But the cops, they didn't see a 9-year-old child throwing a fit. They saw a criminal. To me, that's how you treat a criminal. You put them in handcuffs and you pepper spray them. Well, that's a 9-year-old kid.
9-year-old black child.
9-year-old black child that got pepper sprayed by a white woman.
A white woman.
Who was obviously afraid of that 9-year-old child because you couldn't make her get her butt in that car. You couldn't figure out no other way to get her to sit down somewhere and let her, or even if it was in the house, and let her finish throwing her fit. But they are not trained to mentally de-escalate that kind of situation with even an adult. And this is what I mean by we need to start putting some funds toward hiring more social workers and hiring mental health professionals to be available on call when things like that calm down. Because it may have been as simple as I'm mad because I wanted cookies and they made me eat food.
And they got the money to do it. They just haven't allocated the funds properly. They have $1 billion, somehow $1 billion budgets major cities do for the police. Like, come on, what are y'all doing with this money? Like, I'm confused about why they haven't beefed up this. And another thing, we're going to talk about this also on another topic that we're going to get to, is with all that's going on in the world, are we not cognizant of are we not reading the room on what's going on in the world? If I was a cop, I would be so on alert about any move that I make, particularly as it pertains to black folk. They don't give a damn. It's like nothing happened to Judge Floyd, nothing happened to those people. We're just gonna go out, we're gonna keep being aggressive, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're not gonna have any sensitivity to what's going on in the world. They're not gonna fire me, but look, they end up getting fired. They end up getting sued. All this stuff end up happening to them, and it's like they don't know. So my question: I wonder if chiefs are really having a conversation with police before they go out on their beat. Because it just makes zero sense to me that they're going out and being normal. It's so odd. Shahana said something. She said, "I wish we stop calling the police for mental health." And in this situation, and also in that situation in Killeen that happened, I think last month, they specifically asked for mental health professionals. The police departments are not acquiescing. In Killeen, they did the first time. The second time, the person wasn't available. I guess they just got one. So they sent a cop. In this situation, the mom who was trying to stab the daddy, allegedly, specifically asked for a mental health professional, and she got a cop. So,
I mean, it's the same though. I mean, if your house is on fire and you call 911, the police come, but they don't do nothing because they wait for the fire department to show up. And then they stand there in the background in case they need to assist in some other way. And it should be the same. If they happen to beat the social worker there, you just stand there and make sure the child ain't, a death threat to herself or something like that, serious harm. And you wait for them to come and de-escalate the situation, and you just sit in the background. And as far as the state of Black America,
here we go. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that the media highlights every little thing that happens and it makes it like big. I feel like when all of the things were at its worst, you saw 5 billion things going on at the same time as far as Black America and the negativity surrounding it. And I believe this situation with the 9-year-old, we may not have even seen it on the news if there were a lot of other things going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I think things with kids and stuff like this happen in schools all the time because they have police now on campus that are handling kids the wrong way. And if you Google it, you can find it, but they don't highlight it like this was highlighted. And I want to believe that it's because maybe that narrative is starting to spin somewhat, and people, the cops, because you see now in the cops where stuff happens where you have some of us even poking at the police officers to try to make them act the fool, and they just sit there and look at them. Hey, thanks for that super sticker.
My card stuck.
But yeah, but as far as the
One
state,
second. One second. We sure thank you very much for that super sticker. You know, Miss Chef Hannah, Heels and Meals. We sure appreciate you for the $9.99. We appreciate the money that flows, but we also thank you for the money that jingles. Much appreciated. All right. Anybody else wanna add to that? We certainly appreciate it. All right, go ahead, Devin. I'm sorry.
and only 99 cents of it is jingling. The rest of it, you can fold.
Absolutely.
But as Black America, the state of Black America as a whole, though, you know, I kind of had to highlight this for myself with some people that I was talking to about when Miss Cicely Tyson died. You know, I was thinking of the state of America when she was born and how bad it was for Black people then opposed to now. Now I feel like people are being more held accountable for the wrong that they do. And I hope this starts changing in some of the places where it's the worst, like the southern areas where they seem to care a lot worse. I think slowly it'll start changing because these folks gonna tired of going broke, spending all their money paying off all these silver suits and stuff. Because Black folks don't play no more. We had that camera right in your face soon as you pull up and say, "I bet."
Everything. Me and Tam were just talking about this. We were riding through downtown the other day, and we were thinking, we were like, "Do you remember?" And you might remember this too. We both from the same city.
Yeah.
I remember going to the north side over on what's that main Northwood? Was it Northwood by the Red Bricks?
Yeah.
And Main Street. I remember my grandma used to take me with her, and she was working for white folk, cleaning their houses.
Mm-hmm.
I have another granny, same thing, and that's when I was a kid, and I was born in '83, so that was in the '80s. We are so, as we're talking about the state of Black America, I just want to take it back for a second. We just a few decades removed from Black folks, like a lot of old Black women working for white folks, call them ma'am and sir, right? And we thought that was very interesting, how close we are to it. You ever think about that?
Heck yeah, you know that old country club from that little old town we from.
Yeah.
During my lifespan, we were a little too melanated to even go up in there.
I never set foot
front door. We had to come in through the back. In our lifetime.
And and you're right, not too long ago. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that something? That is freaking like, and I've always been real big on, and I still am, no excuses, right? I'm this big no excuses guy as it relates to Black folks. Nobody can stop me from doing anything. If I want to go to college, I can go to college. If I want to make money, I can make money. I'm big on that, and I still am. However, I'm not blind to the obstacles being Black, right? I choose to overcome them, but I'm not blind to them. And I had to realize that there are a lot of Black people that don't have the mental capacity or the IQ perhaps to overcome some obstacles that are placed in front of them. But it's just so crazy that we're just in the 80s working for white folk. Almost not as a slave, but as housekeepers. And it was a norm, and a lot of people did it, particularly in our city where we're from.
Did you have that cousin or that auntie? Because I know I did. They used to go get all their clothes together and iron them.
Oh,
on hangers and take them back to their house. You remember that?
Yep, and also when they decide they want to get rid of their old clothes, they give them to Black folk. They bring them home, and it's almost like Christmas. We get the rich folks hand-me-downs. Like Miss Jones decided to give away some clothes. We got a whole new thing of clothes to sort through.
But what's so funny about it? Well, maybe it's just me and my mouth. I talk to white people a certain way that my mother or stepdad would never talk to. Now they talk bad about them behind their back. They every name in the book, but they would never be that kind of disrespectful to their face, to where this generation would be like, you got me messed up if you think, and some people, they think that you in danger. Some older people still believe you in high danger if you talk to them like that. And in some ways you might be, but
They got that PTSD from
They
what
got
they saw.
they got a
Another
lot
thing is,
they can and cannot talk to like that. They won't
what
learn
year
to
was
do it.
what year did MLK get shot? I think me and Tam talked about? I think was it 67 or somewhere in the 60s or something like that. I'm not one of them historians, so I don't know dates. I'm thinking it was 67. I could be wrong. She had me young. My mom was born in 67. So to have some of our parents to have been born when King was shot, again, lends itself to the fact that, wow, we not that far removed from having dogs being let out on us and all this crazy stuff. So anyway, that just boggled my mind. But my question to you is, where are we now? Where is Black America now politically? Do we have and not just politically, but economically, financially? Where are we? Town said 68. Thank you, babe. 68. Yeah. So my mom was 1 year old. Where are we? Are we in a better place than we were in 67?
Kinda, but not really. Let's think about it. The ex-president and the current sitting vice president, they Black, but they ain't black. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. I don't think is at a place where they would
that's a topic right there.
Would they would allow or accept Lamar sitting in the White House. You see what I'm saying? Both of them are biracial.
Man, that's a topic. I like that.
Both of them are Black enough where we can be like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But they ain't that black where they got to be afraid of.
Why is not white, but something else?
Now Michelle is black, but Obama wasn't.
Michelle is the closest thing we've had to black. Well, the only thing we've had black in the White House. Even Colin Powell, while he might be full black,
he ain't black. He ain't black.
Even Clarence Thomas in the Supreme Court, while he's dark,
they not black. Now we need like black in there with they cousins with nicknames.
Yeah,
they don't have cousins named Junebug and stuff. Obama don't. Kamala don't. We need some of that.
We've had our first black president, but we have yet to have a black president. They would, as you just said, they will only accept at this point a biracial. My things keep falling out. A biracial black person as president or vice president. That sucks. That while it's exciting to have that, okay, thank you. It sucks overall that we can't get I don't want to reduce them in any way, but we can't have a true African American, well, true black person. I can't even say African Americans. Obama, daddy is African. Mm-hmm. A true American black in those arenas. That sucks, and it's daunting to think about.
We even knew that he was biracial. Is telling.
Yeah. Tell say I used to argue with my parents that the world isn't what it was when they were kids, but now like I was just blind. Yeah, it's just more covert now. It's like the smarter you get, the more you learn about politics, and the more you learn the system, the more you realize, yeah, it's the same. It's just more sophisticated in the way that things are done now. For instance, investing. All this stuff a lot of people have learned recently about shorting stocks. Mm-hmm. Well, most black folk ain't never heard in their life about shorting no goddamn stock, right? Ever, because the thing is, our parents don't know. So who gonna teach us this stuff? They're not teaching it in school.
Nobody. Instead, we getting diamonds implanted in the middle of our forehead.
In our freaking stupid head. What's wrong with this dude? You see that?
First of all, he trolling. He ain't got no $25 million.
And if he do, he's an idiot, and he gonna get jacked and hurt over it. So we're spending our money, well, not our. So we got a lot of black folks that got a little money. All right, let's talk about that. There's a lot of black folks with some money. Compared to white folks, it's not much because we're only 13% of the population. Yeah. So a lot of black folk having a lot of money is a drop in the bucket when you compare it to how many white folk got money, right? We got 6 billionaires.
Facts.
And so the ones that do have the money, though, particularly the rappers, the ones that get the most attention from white kids buying their record, buying their stuff. I mean, I don't feel like they should have to be examples, but geez, dude, it ain't that many of us. Can you please not be an idiot? Like it's like that's what I want to say. I want to say, can you not be an idiot? Why would you spend $24 million on a diamond to have implanted in your head? How do you know if it's safe?
Opposed to trying to have some kind of wealth and generational wealth put in place for his children and grandchildren and great grandchildren.
And we talk about helping one another, lifting each other up, right? How much could that have helped? How much could $24 million? Not that you have to, because I don't like nobody telling me what to do with my money, right? That's why I get bothered when Democrats get in office and they start wanting to have us share the wealth stuff. I'm like, we just got this money over here. Leave us alone. Can we enjoy it for a little bit before you start making us pay higher taxes to help all the rest of the blacks? I'm sorry. All right. That's how I be thinking, right? But
is that the answer? I don't think that's the answer. That's not. That falls into the give me a fish and teach me how to fish. I don't need Oprah to flood black communities with millions of dollars. I need you to put programs in place in schools to start making economics and things like a priority before they get out of school, so they can create their own wealth, and so that they don't need Oprah to buy them school supplies.
Because that's what I'm talking about. Oprah
opted to got an 800 credit score when they get out of school. They can do what they
Oprah opted to build a school in Africa rather than in the black communities in America. Which to me, while I love Oprah, while I respect what she's built, I respect her being the first black female president. I mean, not female president, first black female billionaire, except for Robert Johnson's wife, ex-wife. I respect that, but it sucks to me, and it's a slap in the face to be talking about black folks coming up and being empowering, but you're gonna build a school over in Africa, in a place where there's wealth in Africa, mind you. There was more black billionaires in Africa at the time than it was in America. So you're gonna spend money over in Africa to help those girls rather than doing it over here in Oak Cliff, in Compton. To me, that's stupid.
Yes, complete BS. Complete BS, because she's and the program she's putting in school, they'll be highly educated when they get out of school. They'll be more educated and have more knowledge as far as business and things like that by the time when they come over here, because they will and get their green card and they'll work here. And what will they do? They'll come to the black neighborhoods and check blood pressures when they become physicians.
Exactly what
and stuff like that. And then you got your Jay-Z's who act like they care about black folks and got all this wealth and he's building generational wealth. What does he do? He want to buy a football team and hire black folks to run the ball for him.
Right.
I mean, get out of here. They all full of it. They all full of it.
So there's a mindset, I think. That's like a revamping of the mind. I mean, my thing, because, okay, now, if you're a black person that picked yourself up, you became successful, but you're not a boisterous advocate for empowering black people, okay, I'm not talking to you. But if you're one of the ones that's talking the talk, you're talking all this noise about black people and uplifting, but yet you're not truly doing it today, like, shut up. Like, we don't need to see you doing stuff for people over in Africa. We don't need to see you doing stuff for folks outside of the black community. In my opinion, it just sucks to me. I think it's a huge slap in the face. Right now, the poverty in black communities could really be helped with just the small wealth that the small billionaires we have. I mean, the few billionaires we have, if they really wanted to, not saying they should, because I'm not a fan of handouts, but if they really wanted to, Diddy and, well, he's not a billionaire, but he's close enough. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Michael Jordan, David Stewart, Robert Johnson, all these guys, they could literally just Tyler Perry, put a little bit of Kanye West, put a little money together and build up some communities. That'd be
and not just them, the white people who claim they care. A lot of the ones who were out there marching during this Black Lives Matter movement and on TV talking about social justice and owning it. Mark Cuban, the ones who were talking about it at the basketball games. I mean, those people alone, when they hear us complaining about the ceilings are leaking at the schools, the air don't work, I mean, there's so many other places they can put that money in place, opposed to black folks. Our 9-year-olds don't need Jordans. Why are you handing them crayons and Jordans?
Right.
They don't need no more J's. They don't need no J's. They need an education. How about that? They need to know how to manage their funds by the time they get out of school, in case they don't want to go to college and they don't want to be $100,000 in debt when they get out of school with a degree and then still go work at CVS. They don't need that. Now that's not for everybody. Teach them how to own CVS. I don't understand it.
And see that is. We get ready to move to the next thing, but I just want that what you just said. Teach them how to own a CVS. That's one of the reasons I decided not to be a Democrat anymore, right? Or Republican. I mean, I went from Democrat to Republican to now independent.
Trump gone. You can say you're Republican now. It's okay now. You couldn't say it in December that you were Republican.
Right. Well, independent. I'm still. They idiots on both sides, right? But the one principle that I took to, when you look at kind of what each side really stands for, outside of the social stuff, but the fiscal stuff is more so. Republicans look at trying to. They're all about business. They're all about entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like, and some people are going to disagree with this, and that's okay. Where Democrats are trying to coin themselves as the compassionate ones that want to give and help and prop you up and all this, but I feel like they do it to a point to where it becomes a crutch, and it becomes, to me, modern day slavery, to where if you're going to keep giving me goodies, you're never teaching me how to fish. You're just giving me a little bit of half of a fish every month, and I'm never learning how to do anything. You're keeping me in bondage. Almost like Tam just said here, they barely wanted us to read and learn real history. Y'all think they want you to learn about stocks? And that, to me, that's the same thing as what I'm saying here. No, they don't want us to learn a whole lot because they feel like we'll take over and we'll know too much. We'll start owning too much. And so to me, it's slavery. It's bondage to accept free stuff all the time in exchange for votes, which is what it is, versus being empowered to get tax breaks for having businesses or getting grants for businesses and starting businesses, building your own generational wealth for your kids. I'm sick of working for somebody. I don't work for nobody. I want to build my own business. So anyway, that's my spiel. I ain't gonna get off on that too much. What we got next? What's up, Edward Granados? Thank you for watching, man. Andre Hill. Okay. So this Andre Hill story was quite interesting. I ain't gonna be on it too long. So basically, this guy, the police was called because some weird stuff happening outside. The neighbor saw a car. The car kept starting up, turning off, starting up, turning off. And police were called. Police went, looked in the garage. It was pitch dark, but they heard someone in there. On the what's the camera thing that the police have on? I forgot what they call it. Body cam. You couldn't hear nothing. You couldn't hear a lot yet, right? Because he didn't have his body cam on, which is a no-no, in my opinion. Why would you not? I don't understand why it's even a thing to where they can cut him off. That's stupid. It should be on 24/7 if you're on duty, in my opinion. Why would
off the little device, it should automatically click on.
Yeah, like why are you able to turn it off? That's stupid. So all we can see is the black guy finally coming out, like super light guy. So he looked Hispanic to me, but he's a black guy. Walked out. Police had his gun drawn. He said the guy had his hand in his pocket and maybe had a gun. We don't hear what was said. We don't hear any commands. All we see is we hear the gunshots once the body cam starts the audio. Because once you cut your body cam on, it records, I think, 60 seconds prior to when you turn it on, which is weird. Because if it's able to do that before you turn it on, why is it not getting everything? That was so odd. They kept saying, okay, as soon as they turn it on, it records the 60 seconds prior in case they engage in a fight or something. It gets the 1 minute prior.
That don't make any sense.
Right, but there's no audio with it. Stupid. So we hear gunshots. He shoots the guy. Guy's on the ground. Handcuffed the guy. And it's like 5 minutes before they even get help for the guy. And there was no gun. One of the lady police officers says that the police wasn't even giving commands to the guy. So this is yet another instance of a person being taken out by the police. Um, for what reason? I don't know. I don't know. So I said what I wanted to say about this earlier as it relates to why aren't police chiefs having a talk with these folks? Why aren't cops on high alert and more sensitive to what's going on in the world? You would think that every time they walk out and get into their police car, they'd be thinking, if I make the wrong move today, I could lose my whole career. I could be in jail. I could be sued. Station could be sued if I make the wrong move. You think they'd be sensitive to that, but they don't seem to be. What are your thoughts? What's up with that?
First of all, when I looked into this and looked into that particular police officer, I believe he had like 13 complaints against him prior to that incident. And one of them, at least one of them, was for excessive force or whatever it is. And so, first of all, he definitely needs to be held accountable. But second, whoever his superior is needs to be held accountable as well. Because if you got all these complaints about him with excessive force and things like that, 13 of them, and he's still able to go off by himself and handle a situation, and this happens, more than just that police officer needs to be held responsible for this. That one officer needs to lose his job because he clearly cannot handle managing and supervising those beneath him, because in his mind, he doesn't want to be short, probably, meaning, or somebody he knows or favors, you know what I'm saying? But when you put somebody out there like that, who, to me, when people have excessive force, they either have anger issues or they just hotheads. They don't have any business being a cop. I won't even necessarily make it a black and white issue. Some people just have no business being a police officer. I think
arrogant, narcissistic.
They narcissists. They got bullied as a kid, and they got a badge on, and they gonna throw their weight around, and they gonna stick their chest out. And I mean, I went through that as a kid, dealing with police officers talking crap to me for just not even as a child, as an adult. So I mean, when you have somebody like that has had numerous complaints against them, you're just as responsible as the person committing the act.
Absolutely. Then you add if they're prejudiced or racist on top of it, then you got a big time recipe for disaster. So, which I can't say that's the case for him, because again, the guy didn't look black to me. I thought he was Puerto Rican or something. So I definitely think it was. I can't say it was a race thing. I just can't. There are a lot of situations where it is. This one I can't say it was. Again, I think it's just a hothead cop that I don't know, just stupid.
Hard-headed, hard-headed, and like we know, hard-head make a soft behind. So he needs to be dealt with.
Absolutely. And he will be very soon. What we got next, Mr. Producer? Right there, left. T.I. and Ty, do I want to talk about? I said I was going to talk about it, then I said I didn't want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it real fast. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it real fast. So, this whole T.I. Tiny mess. Let me see. I wrote some notes about it. Let me see. So basically, T.I. and Tiny have responded to allegations from Sabrina Peterson, who previous said that T.I. held a gun to her head. The latest allegations, which arrived via screenshots of DMs of several women on her Instagram, saying that seeing the couple being alleged to have engaged in sexual abuse, allegedly requiring women to take drugs before entering their home, as well as reported instances of assault and alleged facilitation of sexual abuse. Of course, Tiny and T.I. have denied this. They have been accused of sexual abuse, trafficking, drugging, and coercing women. The show has been put on hold for now, of course. And what do we make of this? I know what I make of it. I'll go and tell you. What I make of it is, what money makes you more, whatever you already are, money exacerbates, in my opinion. If you are a criminal, which T.I. is a felon, money makes it worse, in my opinion. Can I say he did all this? No, because I wasn't there. Can I say I don't believe he did all of it? Absolutely not. He's a gangster rapper. So absolutely not. All that power of being a male, black, rich rapper, gangster rapper, you liable to do anything, in my opinion. So you kind of feel, in my opinion, entitled to tell. You think everybody probably wants you. You think that if somebody comes to your house, that you're entitled to get it. And so I don't think this is too far fetched. He did not deny that him and his wife party, as they call it. Who knows about partying?
Party.
he didn't deny that they party. So we already know that they've had.
The ain't the parties I go to, but whatever.
We already know they have extras in the bedroom. So now they just have to figure out whether they were abusive and did the Bill Cosby to the extras that were in the bedroom. What are your thoughts?
I think that T.I. mistreats the women he claims he cares about. So why wouldn't he mistreat the women he don't care nothing about? He don't out and talk dirty and you like is very misogynist in relation to his wife and his own female children. So old Sasha from Magic City, he really why wouldn't he treat her even worse? And he don't care anything about her. And I think, and I don't know Tiny, of course, we don't know nothing about her, but I think she's very weak. I think she's easily manipulated, easily persuaded. He cheated on her left and right in public, made her look as stupid can look, buy a Rolls Royce, and she happy again. So I don't her defending him and not falling in line, because as long as he makes sure everybody on Instagram know he bought the car, she's happy. You know what I'm saying? And I wish people would think the way that you said. He was a thug and was about that life before he was a millionaire. So why they think he's Pastor T.I. now, Pastor Tip now? I won't say pastor because that's a whole nother topic. So why they think now? I'll just say that because most pastors anyway. He ain't. I don't know why it's so far fetched. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they have to prove it. You know, and although I don't like how the girl made it known, because I felt like she was bitter and her feelings was hurt because she was sucking, ducking, licking, and sticking right along with him. But if she brought something to the light that needed to be brought to the light, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But yeah, he was, you know, T.I. was a criminal before then. You know what I'm saying? And
there was a tweet. The daughter, Deja, the one who the whole big hoopla about him taking her to the doctor and checking her hymen or what have you.
Yeah.
She tweeted. Did you hear about the tweet?
No. What?
She tweeted and then deleted it that her daddy came into her room at 5 a.m. and woke her up offering her juice.
Well, what man talks about his daughter's hymen? What man even wants to admit his daughter has a hymen? I think most people, when it comes to their daughter, they don't even want to see them as sexual beings, period. It just kind of makes them, you know, cringe a little bit. They want to keep this innocent little girl forever. You don't talk about her hymen and don't take her to the doctor to get it checked. But he brags about his 13-year-old son getting his virginity taken. That's his mentality.
What dad goes into his daughter's room at 5 a.m., wakes her up, and offers her juice? For what? Something weird about that. She posted it saying it was odd and then deleted it. But people, Black Twitter, we catch stuff and screenshot it. It's over. It's out there.
And untweet nothing. That's like unringing a bell. She can.
Right.
And I think he's trash. Did he do all of this? Of course, we don't know, but he's trash to the 10th power.
There's a lot more to the whole T.I. Deja, his daughter story. I think he's he's an abuser. I think he's a horrible person, in my opinion.
And this is his third strike, so he gonna go bye-bye for a long time if he's found guilty.
And Tiny just sitting over there looking crazy, going along with whatever he puts forth.
And Tiny is sitting there waiting on him, putting money on his book, sneaking in, trying to give him some while he's in prison because she's stupid. And Deja, I think if something happened, she needs to go ahead and say it. I know
it'll come out.
he is, but I want her to have a voice as well.
It'll come out. I'm real big on this whole sexual abuse piece. I'm not. I'm like, I can't stand folks that that do that.
And they're supposed to be traffic teenage girls, which means they all need to be under the jail.
They all need to be revealed. I feel like every one of them need to be revealed. I don't care who it is. Need to be revealed.
I agree. Totally agree.
And then they need to be tied up, choked to death, and thrown under the jail.
Yeah, because castrating don't work. You still got fingers and toes and hands. You need to do more.
Ain't no forgiveness for molesters in my mind. In my
send them to Alcatraz and let them live all there together, and they can all mess with each other.
Right. All alleged, ladies and gentlemen. As we go to the next topic, last and final topic. All alleged. We don't know what T.I. has done.
Sure
all
don't.
we know is that his daughter posted saying he came in the room at 5 a.m. offering juice, which could have been some Jesus juice that Michael Jackson used to have and give little kids allegedly. Who knows? I don't know.
And that.
Could have been the same juice he was allegedly giving to women that's saying that he drugged them. I don't.
And that trash.
I don't know. Who knows? Yes, hopefully it'll all come out. Politics. As we end this thing, we got a few more minutes. We've been talking about politics already, but I want to specifically talk about the Joe Biden. The Joe Biden is pushing for this COVID relief. He's also pushing for $15 an hour minimum wage, which I'm opposed to because I don't feel like everybody deserves. Well, $15 ain't a whole lot an hour. I mean, do the person giving me my food at McDonald's, should they get paid $15 an hour? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like as far as the economy goes, to mandate that for employers, particularly small businesses, and corporations like a Walmart, or I think they already started doing it anyway, but McDonald's and all that, they're going to recoup their money somewhere. And listen, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, no matter how you feel, no matter how compassionate you are as a liberal and want to help people and spread the wealth around and help folks get a leg up, business is business. And business says that if I'm a corporation and we made $1 billion this year, when we sit in the first quarter and discuss Q3, Q4 of 2021, and our projection is to make $3 billion, guess what? We're going to do every single thing we can to make $3 billion. And if that means cutting folks, because y'all done made us give folks $15 an hour minimum, and with Obamacare made us give them health insurance or pay a fine, guess what? We about to put folks part-time, we're about to lay folks off, and we're going to do more with less. And we're going to raise prices on goods and services because we will not miss our projections on the sake of a Democrat being in office. And guess who suffers in that situation? We all do. Should the minimum wage be higher than it is? Sure. But I think from 7 or 6 or whatever it is now to 15 is a huge jump to go. It should be incremental, probably faster than it is right now, rather than jumping from 7 to 15, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if I agree that minimum wage should be increased at all, but what I need people to understand is if you make $15 an hour from 7 something an hour, your little $400 rent that you pay gonna be $800 a month. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where minimum wage was like $4.75, and but it was also common at that time for your car note to be $100 a month. You know, so as your money goes up, so is the prices of everything. So nothing changes. And I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but if you make 15 an hour, I'm gonna need my salary to go up as well, because you're starting to close that gap that I work hard to create. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm low-key Republican my damn self, but I don't think that's necessary, because then my rent gonna go up, my car note gonna go up. My loaf of bread that costs $2 gonna be $4.50, all because you wanted $15 an hour. And when I'm gonna say something very inappropriate. I just don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead, we need to be trying to figure out ways for goods and services to not be so expensive. What do we need to do to decrease the amount of that so that we can afford to make the money we make and still pay all of our bills? Like, I don't know. And as far as Biden go, I'm with Tam. I'm Biden. You know what? I'm gonna need him to knock some of the money off of my student loans, like he said. I ain't gonna forget that he said that. You know, and
I don't know if we're gonna do it.
I'm gonna need that student loan money.
Right. I ain't heard nothing about it lately. I might look into it. But I do agree with something Tam said. She said we should keep up with inflation. I do agree we should keep up with inflation, which is why I think it should be an incremental every year. They should examine it and see what inflation is doing. But they should have been already doing that. So in my opinion, if we should be at 15 now, it's a huge shift to right now just bump from 7 to 15.
Yeah, we skipped a whole lot of numbers. I mean, what happened to $8?
And while it may be right if inflation is at that will be what the ratio is right now, because they didn't do it already, it would really affect a whole lot if they just bumped it up that far right now, in my opinion. Someone says that my job, I get 3% increased cost of living every year. And jobs that do that, guess what? They make that, they make room for that. They account for that. They plan for that. And nobody's forcing them to do it, I don't think, but they make room for it. And if that's something that they're going to do every year, that's a great incremental 3% versus, all right, minimum wage $7.15, all y'all making $7.15, whether it's the people that just have had a hard go at it, or it's just the people that's lazy, because that's both. Well, no matter which one it is, all y'all, all right, here you go. You get your raise, you get your $15 an hour, and it's going to be strict as far as the employers go too. They probably looking for every reason to get rid of you once they start doubled your pay all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, I like that 3% increase or whatever increase at your current job. For one, that'll give you a reason for longevity and to stay on a certain job longer so that you can get that increase. But yeah, I think that's too big of a jump. We missed a whole lot of numbers. I mean, there's the 8 in there, 9, 10, 11. I mean, like how we go straight from, like, I don't know who woke up and thought that. Like,
you arrive at 15. Like, geez.
We're skipping a whole lot of numbers. Like, can we stop at 9? Like, y'all missed all that. Like, can we go back? You know what I'm saying? And let's give people incentive, because think about it. If they pick this up, ain't nobody gonna have longevity at no job. You know what I'm saying?
Way.
Like, everybody gonna quit. People that CNAs working at nursing homes, if they can make $15 an hour, answering phones somewhere, them old people on their own is a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So we need to do baby steps. How about let's start with a quarter, 45 cents.
I'll be okay with $1. I'll be all right with $1 for the next few years. You know, I'm okay with $1. I mean, that's better than just jumping up a whole $7, $8. Tam says she's for. I think Jaquita says she's for. Jaquita says she thinks it's $8.15 right now. 17-year-old just got a job. I just can't be. I'm just not interested in that. I don't think it's a good idea. And those of us that make over 15 an hour, a lot of us work real hard to get where we work. A lot of us appreciated that 15 when we worked so hard to get to it. So it'd been nice if they would have decided to do that when I was making $7, $8 an hour and give me the 15, because I worked hard to get to 15. When I got to 15, I thought I was doing something.
Hey, where I live, I think Target starts you at like 13 or 15 an hour. It's certain jobs that will pay you well to make that kind of money. And
I just don't want to, and this is the Republican side of me, I just don't I don't want to take away competition. I mean, there are prerequisites for different things. For instance, me and Tam has worked very hard. While she's for the minimum wage thing, she's worked very hard to get to where she is making good money. She went to school and got degrees. I haven't done that, right? So I feel like there is work to be put in to get to certain areas. Everybody can't be rich. Everybody can't have a whole lot of money. But if opportunities are out there for you to grow financially, everybody's not willing to put the work in, and some are. So just to give everybody just 15 all of a sudden, heck no, I think that's stupid. And I'm like that, like you said with Tam. I spent a lot of money. I got a lot of debt for me to be where I am today. So I mean, and I'm not hating on somebody who can go and start at a higher paying job, but I'm old school. I don't believe you should just be handed stuff because of your existence. Some things you got to work hard for.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to get in there and you got to start making $10 an hour, and then you got to try to work yourself up or work there a while so you can get those incentives and things like that. And like I say, if you make 15, man, you still gonna struggle because they're gonna figure out a way to make you struggle and not be able to afford.
You ain't lying. You ain't never lying. The government winning in the end. You're not winning. The government winning because you get more taxes taken out. You know, it might. I'm not sure what the brackets are right now. It might probably put you in another bracket to where percent going. So they winning. You're not.
And let's be real. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody, but a lot of people that would go out and advocate for $15 an hour, they're not gonna use that money for all that good. They're gonna go and get. They're gonna upgrade the cable. They're gonna get the new iPhone, whatever. They're gonna do all the wrong things and still be struggling. They're gonna move from their 4-bedroom. And we still ain't going. I just think we're going about this wrong by just handing people $15 an hour instead of figuring out a way to teach people how to, use the money in the proper channels.
I agree 100%. People are going to waste it. Which again, I'm saying it is their money. Sure, yeah, it is your money, but I don't advocate for it because I don't advocate for it. Leave those folks alone, Devin. But we need this teacher needs to transpire.
Somebody got to be honest at some point, y'all. I know we're afraid of saying the wrong things because they get us for it. But somebody at some point in life, we need to be real and we need to make folks understand. Because I like nice things myself, but you know what I'm saying? But some things I save up years for. I saved up like a couple years to get my Louis Vuitton bag. You know what I'm saying? Just because I had it, then and I just think that we don't all have that mentality. That's
right on. That's right on. And with what Tam said, and what you said, the ones that are gonna just kind of splurge on more, give more money to white companies, they all tax dollars going to the government, more money going to big corporations that are not run by black folk. So there you have it. Well, we've come to the end of our show. We've said a lot. This is quite interesting. This is I had fun. I'm sure we got some people that's looking at us like, who are these Republican ass Negroes on here? Listen, I'm honest. I know I froze up. I seen it froze on my computer, and I kept talking through it. I wasn't sure if it was frozen or not, but I figured it was. But
I ain't uppity. I'm just real.
Right. I'm independent. I see both sides. Wow.
Tam, he needs to put his $15 on better Wi-Fi. That's what I'm.
Well, you need to talk to Tam. This her Wi-Fi. This ain't mine. It's Tam Wi-Fi.
Sam like me, she got to save up for that. She get new Wi-Fi in 2022. You ain't ready for it yet. You got to save up for that.
Sure. Let's see. So yeah, I'm both. I believe in ultimate freedom. People should be able to do what they want with their bodies, their lives. They should be able to marry who they want to marry. I don't give a crap. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't think we should make laws to tell people what they can do with their own lives. The same thing as relates to finances and stuff like that. Don't tell me how much I got to pay somebody in the company that I started from the bottom up. It's my company. Would you tell me why I gotta get somebody off of health insurance? Why I gotta pay them $15? I don't want to. And guess what? If you don't like it, don't work for me. So that's kind of how I see it on both sides. So I have my Republican side and I have my liberal side as well. And I just whatever works best for me. So I'll be an independent.
And I believe that we just need to start working on the people with money, building up our communities to teach us to fish and not just give us fish, because that does not benefit us.
Praise the Lord. Tam called me a snitch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, Darren, for joining me for a conversation this Friday. This was fun.
A lot of fun.
And, those that are watching, again, this is TFG. We are a network Hold on, Tim say it's all fun and games until they remove minimum wage and you're making $5.50 an hour. That's why we need to be self-employed. So we need self-employed. But thank you. Thank you for coming on and having this conversation with me. We are a network, TFG, the FAR Group. We have a political channel, which is where you're watching right now. We have a media channel. We have a religion channel. Go and buy in, tie yourself in, and hit the subscribe button. Don't just hit the like button and subscribe button. Go and become a member. It ain't much a month. Just go ahead and hit the membership thing. You know, got some perks that come with that. You know, don't just subscribe, hit the like button, and become a member, but comment outside of the chat. Comment, that helps. More people see the show. And don't just do those things. Say it again.
And hit that notification bell so you can always join in.
Hit that notification bell, and then not just those things, but there's something called super chat and super stickers. If you want to be a blessing, I felt something right there.
I know, right? Y'all still get the internet. Come on, y'all. Help a brother.
Y'all pitch in there, please. If you want to be a blessing for the internet, but we can get better Wi-Fi over here at the place. Go on and go to that super chat right now. I'm gonna give you about a minute to do it. Super chat, super sticker.
Don't donate to that high speed. Come on, y'all.
No. Can we get $1? Like you do in church. Can we get $1? Can we get $1? Where our dollar folks at? All right. Where our $5? Where our $5 folks? We got $5, $4.99. Where our $100 folks? Where our $100 folks at?
Six for chocolate. Six for chocolate.
All right, we done. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Be blessed, y'all. Be blessed.
Peace out.